much, now I'm swallowed. Now I'm the fool while you're breaking rules. Dangerous path that I follow. Oh, go on, just do what you do. And it hurts as I bleed for you, cry for you. Oh, oh. Let me bleed as I bleed for you, cry for you. Oh, oh. Let me bleed.
This is just an update or upsetting situation. So, I'm on the aquarium 15-gallon column tank. I've had it for about 6 months. Just been kind of slowly working on getting gear, and I finally threw a fish in, and this is a unhappy situation. So we'll talk about this is the beta log. So I have a beta. You've already probably seen it. I'm gonna be doing video editing. Yeah, beta log. Look what it's doing. Okay. So here's your review on the beta log. I have a filter. Just wait. It's gonna hit that current. So, the thing about it is, I don't know if you've ever been, as a kid yelled at about tapping on the fish tank. So, I'm going to have to get some fishing wire and tie that thing off, which is going to be a pain in the ass because that's all I have to really tie it off to. So, the column tank, little review on the column tank. I don't know about the filtration system yet. I've not bought more filters yet. So if it's going to be a pain in the butt to find filter replacements, then I am likely going to just replace the filter, for the carbon thingies. So then I'll replace the filter. I've been buying driftwood online. So I did go to my fish people, and they said that this is normal. So the wood's not been in here too awful long, but it's like fungus or the fibers are coming out of the wood. Oh, I don't know, but it's not harmful to fish is what they said, and it'll go away. Saw an article that said snails will eat it. These used to be in my 5-gallon. I just bought this today, the moss. So I'm still on the default lighting system. Ideally, I'd like to get the satellite LED system. One of the things about the LEDs is they last for, I think, like up to 20 years. So the thing about it is I think it's the RGB, but the lighting will actually be correct for getting my plants to grow, because I do want to have live planting, especially since I'm doing this for the beta. So I lost my beta, and just kind of from old age, and it was just very upsetting to me that I kind of have my fish in this crappy 5-gallon tank, and it passed away. So I wanted to, I've done some learning, and they live in streams, so this is more of an appropriate size of environment. I have limited space, that's why I got the column tank. So this is as wide as my 5-gallon was, but it's a 15-gallon. So one of the things that's going on, I'm getting ready to do my first water change, official water change, since I bought my fish. So I had put sand. I was planning on aquascaping. One of the problems I'm having with this tank is that I need to build up. I was looking at other people's tanks, and there was a lot of open space So the tanks were just, they were ugly, and I want to treat it like a real tank. I mean, this is for the fish. The beta likes to hide, so he needs to have an appropriate environment. And the only way I can see doing that is by doing live aquascaping, if I can get plants growing. The satellite lighting system, what I saw online is that it tapes to the hood, so it just has like an adhesive tape. So if I'm not mistaken about that lighting system, it also has a timer, so I don't have to babysit. I'm about to do some stuff to the tank, so I'll be back after I do that, but I want to give an update on Fishy here, because I finally just, after watching stuff grow, decided to put a fish in. This is where he lives. Like, he just lives behind the filter. So, I mean, what's going on here is he's got swim bladder disease. So, for anybody who wants to tell you to put sand in with your beta, and anything you see online about don't put sand in with your beta, he can't swim. He has not been able to swim for 2 weeks. Now, he started getting a little bit better, but then I fed him. So, what's going on with that? I've been looking online. This is what I have. Let's, here, I'll set it down. Top fin color enhancing beta bits. So this is the pellets. And one of the things I'm seeing is that those will, you know, they come into the tank dry. Because I was going to go ahead and switch them over to this. I already had this as a fish treat. I never got my fish to actually eat it. And it comes into the tank dry. This is also dry. So your fish ingests that and then it puffs up. So what's going on is he has a digestive blockage. Now he did poop about a week ago, so I'm thinking it's not the sand. So here's what happened with the sand though. I got my fish, I needed a substrate. Not knowing very much, I'm like, oh, a substrate, I need that. I figured it was something that would help plants grow. He started eating the sand. So I've witnessed this. That's what happened. And then he got sick, and I thought he was going to die. But he has not yet died. He did poop. That was a while ago. He's eaten once this week. He ate one pellet. And, like, he had just started swimming again. A little bit, not even fully. And then he ate one pellet. And now he's back hiding in his hole and tipped up on his side. So, this pellet shit, I'm just done with it. Dried foods, it's not going to happen. So, today I went and I got, frozen, what is it, brine shrimp, because it is smaller than the bloodworms, I think. And I got this at PetSmart, so I asked for a dropper in the fish department, and she said they didn't have any. So she ran over to, like, Cats and Dogs, you know, in the syringe. She said syringe. So that's what was going on in her mind. She grabbed 2 products. So that's where you're going to find this. So, like, if your animal is sick, you know, you cram this in their fucking mouth, and excuse my language, you cram this in their mouth, and you can dose them with medication. Well, that's how I'm going to start feeding my fish, so I have absolute control over how much he's eating as well. I don't think he's still got sand in his system, so what's going to happen today, I'm going to do the water change, pop the plant in there, get that tied off, let things calm down a little bit, because I'm sure that having this log just banging on the tank is stressing him out, like sending vibrations through the glass and affecting his nervous system. But the water change needs to be done. I'm worried about the tannins. They're coming from the wood, so there is going to be, I'm going to take it down about that far every week. No full water changes. Hopefully nobody gets sick enough to have to do that. I've checked him for dropsy. He came out to try and swim yesterday, and I got a light on him. I shined a headlamp on him and got a good view. He's just bloated in the tummy. So these pellets are not happening. They're not happening. So I'm just going to switch to almost live food. I'm not comfortable with trying to throw in live food. I am considering putting in tank mates right now because of the size of this tank, and once it's planted and everything, I'm not going to be able to see them. Another thing I was thinking about with the column tank, so if you've got an aquarium and you're watching this, they have them at Petco, I think. They're like, I've had them before, and it's only one company that I can find. They're like, terraces is what they're called, a terrace. And it's like a shelf, so it has like a little leg, and then it suction cups to the wall. And I wish that more companies were making these, and that they were making them more effective, because they were really flimsy. So I don't know if I want to purchase them again or not. I'm also worried about, like, lighting getting down to the bottom of the tank and not being able to grow plants. I'm going to be doing live plants because, again, you know, I need something really tall. Like, I want things for this fish to rest on and hide in, and actually be able to enjoy his environment and treat this animal properly. It may seem like a lot for a betta fish, but I mean, when you're in control of an animal's life, this is my perspective, regardless. If you have a pet, you should treat that pet the best you can with as utmost respect as you can, because you're in control of that creature's life, you know? So, I mean, hopefully he's gonna make it. This bubbler is way too much. I had a bubble wall. You'll probably seen that. I'm on a 20 to 40 gal, I think, on my air pump, which I got at Walmart. It's a good air pump. So I don't know if that's why I'm getting so much bubbles, but I tried another bubbler. I'll show that to you guys a little bit later. That's another fish tank nightmare to avoid. This is a digital thermometer right here. This thing is awesome. So it's battery powered, and I ran it up through the back of the tank, and it's got a sensor. So the thing I really like about this, though, is I was worried about the batteries, but I can turn the power off and on. So I can just turn it on, check the temperature, turn it off. So it's easier to read than those ghetto ones. If you want one of those, that is a Coral Life digital thermometer. And it's got a Fahrenheit and Celsius settings. So, yep, that's what's going on. I'm gonna get my water changed and get a little more into this. This is turning into a frustrating situation. I saw a parent with a couple of kids getting ready to throw these poor fish into a bowl. Yeah, that kind of irritated me. The moss is I'm gonna push that up against this log, and I hope that what is gonna happen is that I'm hoping the moss will start to infiltrate the log. So again, I'm on default lighting here. Trying to grow plants. So with the fact that my fish tried to eat the sand, I have to do gravel. So I got this at PetSmart. So this is what I'm going to be looking for. This is a gravel bed supplement for the planted aquarium. So what it is it's like little tap things that you shove down in the water. Let's go ahead and open it up real quick. I'm going to set it down here. I've never seen this, but I mean, trying to figure out the planted aquarium has been another big, really confusing problem with what I'm finding on the internet. A lot of people getting all scientific and not just, you know, speaking about things in a normal or understandable way, because I got really concerned about my lighting needs, and I don't know what the LEDs are actually going to cost on this tank, because it is a lot smaller than the LED that I was actually looking at. So I'm expecting it to be significantly cheaper. And they were telling me that these kind of light bulbs that come in the tank, you know, the fluorescents, they're an annual change. So not only is it less hazardous, but if it's got a timer, I have more control, and the satellite has like cool weather conditions, like cool environmental lighting. So Here's what we've got with these supplemental. And you just shove those down into the gravel every couple inches, and what it does is it puts nutrients in there for the plant roots. I am not putting anything that is comparable to fish pellets or the size of the pellets, because I do not want my suicidal fish to die. So if you see people putting sand in, if they're telling you it's okay to put sand in, you know, there's a chance they may wind up regretting that decision. It is not a wise decision with a betta fish. Unfortunately, it sucks, I know. I was looking at, I think it's like fluoride or something, and there's just small pieces, and so I can't put that in the tank, because what I want to put in the tank is not going in the tank. This tank is now getting thrown together way faster than what I wanted. I am an experienced keeper. I've had a brackish tank. I've had all kinds of stuff going on, but I really love the betta because they're freshwater, really beautiful fish. Thinking about throwing some tetras in here, maybe some ghost shrimp. So I'm just going to start with the moss and one plant, and we'll see if they die. I got my plant at PetSmart, and so I figured they had a fluorescent over them. I figured, you know, they're low lighting, so I hope it says throw it in the aquarium, so I'm hoping that this is an aquarium plant. So, and Nubias Congenesis. Now, my tank is by a window, and the light kind of shows through there. My temperature without a heater has been maintaining at 80, so the sunlight's helping. So, this has really big fins. Or, not fins, leaves. So I'm really hoping that's going to catch the light a lot better and be less likely to die. So we're going to go from there. I want to do ground cover, but I mean, especially with him having problems swimming, I saw people talking about feed your betta a pea a week. So he's going to eat a pea, a little piece of pea today. Hopefully, maybe tomorrow, because this is a stressful situation. And hopefully he's going to start getting better, and I am going to really be on lockdown with what this fish is eating with the dropper. Like, exact amount control. So, I'm going to go ahead and do my water change. There's a download of everything that's going on with this madness. And I got a smaller airstone, which will not be going in until this fish seems to normalize, and once I know what's going on, because there are people who've been doing the pea treatment regularly with their bettas. And I'm wondering, with his name is Predator because he wants to eat the world, if that's the situation I'm going to find myself in. Is giving my fish a weekly laxative. So, yep, not a happy situation. That's another thing with the sand. So I just pulled that log out of there. It's driving me crazy. It has to be tied down. It is not safe for that fish. This is my emergency go-to holding cell, is this bowl. So I had to do a full water change because of that sand, you know. And spoon that out and dump it out in the street, and stick my fingers in there and pick up every little granule of sand. So really, if you're considering a substrate and you have not yet put sand in your tank, don't do it, because you're not going to enjoy taking out every single granule out of your tank if it's going to kill your fish, if you actually care about the animal that you have adopted. But this was a good way to avoid the net. Like, I just kind of dipped it in there and sucked him into the bowl, so that way I didn't damage his fins. So this is my medical treatment. So the water's looking a little bubbly. So I'm assuming that's because of the tannins coming out of all that wood. I've never experienced that before, and I've never had wood in a tank before. Okay, I'm done with my water change. I'm going to get back to my grunting and groaning here. As you can see, the log is now under control. So I think I need more substrate. I only put one bag in, so it's not very deep, so I'm gonna have to get more of that. That weird nutrient stuff I showed you guys, I only had to put 2 tablets in this tank, like, size-wise. So the bag will last a while. I still have plenty left over that needs to be replaced every 4 months. Read the instructions. I mean, same with the plant. I had to read the instructions. I shove that so, like, I've got, like, some splayed parts of wood here. So I shove the, moss up against it, hoping that it's going to start taking over that wood. I'm really getting sick of looking at this. Fishy is really pissed off. That poor guy. These things had to happen. Like, it is really unfortunate that this is going down right after I got him. So, I think the P... Look at him, he's on his side. You can't even barely see, like, he is on his side. Dude. He is not doing well. He's getting used to living like this. So, yeah, tomorrow, after he gets relaxed and used to what just happened, because I'm sure he's stressed as hell right now, it's pee time. The log... So, I had to go out and get into my fishing pole, and it's actually tied to the curtain rod. So that's how that worked out. It doesn't seem to be, like, getting so much pressure because the water level's a little bit higher. But, I mean, I just did the water a week ago. So, I had to tie off the log, and that's how I had to do it. Because you can't... what else am I going to tie it to? So, these are things that had to happen. I'm worried about my water quality, so there's plants in here now that I'm hoping will help. Other than that, stuff that I had to shove down into the gravel may hurt, like, add ammonia. So next it's going to be water quality monitoring. So we're going to talk about a couple other things that are going on here. Again, that's not going to get turned on. That's a new one, and I'm going to have to get a suction cup. I could not get that to stay. So this right here is the dechlorinator that I have been using for years. I mean, like 10 years. So, apparently, I can't find it now. Apparently, I'm going to have to start looking on the internet. I have used this successfully for 10 years. So, if we could read the label through the camera lens, that would be nice. 1 drop per gallon. So, I just want to remind everybody that you're being ripped off. So I really, really hope they're still making this because I trust this product. And, I mean, on top of Fishy being sick, like, could be the food, you know, the water does not, like, the water affects digestion, like I saw add some salt. Tannins could be, you know, affecting the water with this wood, because I've never done wood, and my water was starting to brown, so, algae... has not happened in this tank yet. So we had algae coming out of our water supply, so when it comes to summer, I'm gonna have to start using distilled water from the grocery store. So let's go back to the dechlor issue. 1 drop versus, this is weird for me, using a cap and these weird measurements. So this is what I have is, Tetra Aqua Save right now. And, I mean, soon I won't even have to be using a dechlor, but I don't know, maybe this is harming him. I decided to come out here with this, because I need to clean in there. This is what I have to use, because they didn't have the normal dechlor that I've always been able to buy everywhere. And I feel like this shit is watered down, and they're ripping people off, and that's what's going on here. So, I don't know if this is endangering my fish, because before this I had that stuff I've been using, and now I'm using this, so maybe this is causing me problems. Maybe I need to read more about it. This is just ridiculous, okay? I have a beta log tied to my curtain rod. So, the column tank is, I mean, here's how I see it. It's, if you can't build out, you can build up. I mean, it's just my philosophy, you know, bookshelves everywhere, like, things are stacked up in here, like, I'm really big on space saving, you know, and I feel like moving upwards with things is also, I mean, it makes things look nice in a weird way. And this tank is really cool. And I feel like the product suppliers have the right idea, but they're just getting it wrong. So, the terraces are a useful product. I believe they're a wanted product. I mean, if I could use terraces, you know, I mean, I could landscape all the way up them. Like, I have all this space here. And I gotta learn how to fill it because, like, again, I love the tank, but the landscaping it is a nightmare. Look at all that negative space. The log is a cool add-in as far as, even if you don't have a Betta. I mean, it sucks I had to tie it off, but that is a cool way to kind of try and start filling up some of this negative in the, column tank. Live plants is going to be an experiment. I'm doing it because the plastic plants can hurt your fish, and especially with the Betta, that's something you don't want. So, we'll see how that does. Another thing about the 15-gallon column, again, I'm going to say it again, I love the tank. It's just difficult to deal with, is the siphon. So, I had a smaller siphon. Let's get these siphons here. This is a siphon I was using. This is the siphon I'm now using. So get a big siphon if you've got the aquarium column tank. Trying to save you guys money here. I'm gonna come back. I want to show you. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. I think I threw away the boxing for this. I'll probably tag the brand, maybe put it in the description here. Because this was another upset. So, I got the LED bubble wall. Because my tank was just an idea with no fish in it for quite a while. And I was trying to run the tank and get it fully monitored and set up before I put a fish in there. But it was just getting ridiculous. Like, I couldn't tell anymore and just kind of needed to throw a fish in to figure out what's going on in this tank, how to properly put it together. So I gotta show you this thing though. So this is the bubble wall. I had to set it up diagonal. So I mean, I'm probably gonna put all my fish videos on this edit, so you can see all this crap. So yeah, it was too big, and the current was just like river. I mean, so I had to take it out regardless. But on top of that, do you see the hazard? Stick the cord in your tank and plug it in. So it's not even the LED that I was interested in. Again, these guys get the right idea about making the product, and I hope that they continue making these products but get better at it instead of thinking that nobody wants this stuff and gives up. Like, they're just doing it wrong. Because what I wanted was this. I wanted the bubble wall that would last. As you know, the airstones, they get fragile and they just flake apart, and I get tired of dealing with that. I get tired of replacing them. So if I have a bubble wall that would last, that's why I got it. I even thought about cutting the cord off. So, I mean, I looked at the instructions on this thing. I'm probably going to sell it on eBay or something. Maybe somebody wants it. But you are not to unplug this shit. Like, it is too dangerous to unplug it. Like, electrocution hazard. Big time. Probably fry your fish if something electrical goes on in the water. Like, obviously, do not reach your hands in the water. So, what it says on the instructions is to throw the breaker. So, before you buy one of these LED bubble walls, it's like, a lot of people put fish tanks together for their kids. Man, this is something to think about. This is a big deal. Like, it could kill your child. It'll cook the fish. And all over a fish tank bubbler, flipping the breaker in your house. I don't think so. I think Tetrafin or whatever the hell their name is, they went way overboard with this. Great concept, horrible product. So I am gonna show you guys the LEDs on this because I did want to see it in operation. I didn't buy it for the LEDs. I bought it for the bubble wall that will actually last. And there is no way in hell that I would even consider having these lights on anyways. So what we're going to do is I'm going to plug this in, turn the lights off in my room, and show you how absolutely blinding this is. I mean, and it does not have an off switch. Like, so it's on and it's on, and apparently if you want to, I mean, the bubbles work without it being plugged in. But if you want to shut it off, you got to do the danger and unplug it, you know? So you're giving it wear and tear too. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to come back to you with the lights off and show you how absolutely blinding this fucking thing is. Like, if it's in a bedroom, whoever's in that room is not going to get any sleep. Okay, so everything except for the fish tank light is off. Look at how blinding this is. A bubbler. This is a fish tank bubbler. I could, like, maintenance my vehicle at night with this. Like, okay, so let's wave it at the bathroom wall. I'm at the door with this. Okay, so now let's see if we can shoot it all the way across my bedroom. Yep. So I would say that's probably at least 100 lumens. 150. 175 maybe. Probably about 150, 175. That's a lot of lumens. I mean, if I was in proximity of a mountain lion, I would at least be able to see the attack was coming. This is a fish tank bubbler, you guys. Would you even be able to look in your fish tank and see your fish? I don't know if anybody else has used this product, but I mean, can you see your fish, or do you just go blind if you try to look at your fish tank with this plugged in? So, yeah, product review on that. I think that's Tetrafin. Don't buy those. I got that at PetSmart. They got a smaller one. I'm assuming it's as horrible. So, I guess I have a cool new flashlight if I want to maintenance my car or something, like some sort of light that I can plug in. So, yeah, I mean, soapbox speech. I really hope that fish makes it through the night after the stress he went through. I did not expect this was going to get this extreme. I did not expect this tank was going to start getting thrown together like this. Like, it needed to happen. He's hiding behind that filter. I can't see him. He's sick. If he goes in that log, I can see him. Water quality. Plants. I'm not touching any. I don't want my arms in this tank. Like, I might try to suction cup that next week's water change. But that is it. And I really hope that when I feed him a pee tomorrow, he poops and I hope that's the only time I have to feed him a pea. Like, I really hope that this ordeal with the fish can be peaceful now. Because this has just been a problem. Like, I'm eating pizza out of depression over my fish. This is a living creature. I do not want him to die. That is a beautiful fish. He is so cool. So, yeah. This is how it is right now. I might have to get rid of the bubble wall. I'm worried that it's causing too much current. And this is Fishy. He just got dumped into his new environment. I'm sure that he is not used to having to try and swim at all after living in a cup. But I do think there might be too much current. But it looks a lot better now. Fishy is sick. He's been doing this for, like, he's like sideways. For like a week or so now. I just got him. So this is like an example of the amount of sun I'm actually getting from the, through the curtains. So it looks like enough. So we're gonna do this pea business. I really don't want to have to do this. So, I don't believe in microwaves. So I've had my peas sitting in, hot water. And this is not dechlorinated, so I'm gonna go ahead and, make sure these are warm, you know, not frozen anymore, because it could cause brain freeze in your fish. Then I'm gonna put tank water in here after I slice these up. So you're supposed to remove the skin, and then I'm gonna put it in little pieces, and then that'll show me if it floats too once I get the tank water in here. So I'll be right back. Yeah, I don't believe in microwaves. Some people were doing the peas out of the microwave, but these feel cooked. It rolled off. So yeah, I got this, a little napkin, a pea. I did too, just so that I know that, like in case I mess up the first time, you know. I have a problem over here, Fishy. I found him. He's up under the filter, like he's under the lip of the filter. So I think what's going on is he's got a better place to brace himself, being unable to swim up in here. So let's hope he moves. He's been trying to swim, I mean, this past whole week. He comes out and tries to get exercise. He struggles really hard. He'll like go down and then come back up. So I gotta get him where I can reach him. Alright, let's figure out how we're doing this with this pea business here. So you gotta take the skin off. So I got tweezers, you know. Yeah, this is not gonna be easy. I feel like I need like a magnifying glass or something. Okay, I got it. Check this out, check this out. Boom. Still got a little... Well, that's crazy as hell. It like slides apart. It's a sage, you know? Let's do this other one. So I just slide it all up under there. Let's see if we can just pop that out. Okay. Alright, so we got our skins that obviously would not be digestible. Got my little cup here. Now I need this in bite-sized pieces. And I saw somebody do this on YouTube already, like actually feed it to their fish. So, I mean, when he bites it, it's gonna like fly apart or something, right? So, I'm not gonna be too worried. Stuff's wanting to stick to my fingers. I really don't want to have to do this, you know, this is stressful. Like, I mean, I really don't even technically know what I'm doing to my fish by doing this. Obviously, I would assume it serves as a laxative. I did find diagrams of betta fish anatomy on Google, so I was able to see where the organs are located and stuff, which is helping me with like identifying what's going on with his swim bladder. He is really not doing good today, so I mean, we're kind of on the last leg. Part of this thing with the, if it's food that's backed him up, there's a chance he still has sand in his system. I think I might have saw the other pellet, so he might not have ate the other pellet. I think he did, though, because it was after that that he went back to not being able to swim, and he seems to have gotten worse. So, okay, so there's like pee all over up in here. Now I'm gonna switch you around on the camera. Yeah, see, I won't even put this extra driftwood in there because of the tannins. I got more driftwood in the mail. This is good driftwood, though. It's been treated because it's not floating. All that stuff that's growing on it is slimy. So I got my dropper. And I'm just going to get good water that I know is okay to use here. And apparently it's going to take a while to fill up this cup. So I will be back. I don't know if we're actually going to be able to see the whole feeding of the fish go down here, but I mean, I want people to know what's going on. This is insane. So I'll be back. This is going to be hard, and I can't tell you whether or not I'll actually be able to film him getting this, because it's hard to even see him, much less reach him. Okay, so I just checked and he did go back up behind the filter. So now I need to find an appropriate piece of pee that's not too big. Okay. So I like that it's like stuck up in the nozzle there. So hopefully it'll make it easy to just put it in front of him and actually just get him to bite it instead of using a dropper, but hopefully it'll stay on the dropper. Hopefully this will help me see what's going on with fishing here. I gotta come in through the top. It's not floating. Fuck. Alright, we're gonna do that again. I really don't care how much pee goes in the tank because he needs to eat it. Let's go for a bigger piece here. This sucks. This is helping me see. Not seeing the pee. Where's the pee? I need him to eat a pea. I wonder, I kind of want to like just dump this in there, you know? Like get him all frenzied. Alright, I'm gonna try it with my fingers. This really sucks. You see him? He saw it. It's like stuck to the filter. I wonder if he's gonna do it. Fuck. Damn you, fish. This really sucks. What's he gonna do? That's a big piece of pee. Dude, this sucks, okay? He needs to eat. Like, if he's not gonna do, if this is gonna be a pain in the ass, I'm gonna isolate him. I'm gonna take him out of here. I know he can swim, just not very well. I want him to eat a pea now. I think he knows I'm trying to feed him. Alright, we're gonna try this one more time, man. Then he's coming out of that freaking tank. I can't reach up behind that damn filter. Please get better, fishy. Poor fishy. I really hope this works, you guys. Look at his belly. The thing about it is, being clogged up like this, it can cause kidney failure, so hopefully we're not past the point of no return here. And if I just regulate his diet, I'm really hoping that he can just get better. I mean, he's trying to live. So if he does, I'm not going to prevent him from doing that. I'm not. If he has to live in a separate tank, if he winds up with permanent swim bladder, if that's what's going on as he's deformed, I'm going to move him into a bowl or something, and he's just going to have a smaller environment. I really hope this fish gets better. But I'm not going to give up on him. If he's not going to give up, I'm not going to give up. It's like that. He's frenzied, and I want to make sure, like, I want his system to clear out after seeing how bloated he is in high definition here. So I had to double check on camera and make sure that he actually ate the pea. Make sure I'm not tripping. I'm gonna feed him more. It's not working. How do I get it to him, you know? I wonder if suction on the dropper will work. I mean, I'm having a hard time getting the dropper in there. So, I'll try a dropper. See if it'll stay like suction to the dropper. And like put it directly in front of him. If I can, if he'll fucking stop going behind that filter. I can't see my camera. Nope, dropper didn't hang on to it. This sucks. I mean, he's gonna have to go after that stuff. But at least he ate some. So, I mean, oh man. You know, I really want to make sure he's gonna be okay, and he's all ready to eat. Dumping that stuff in there kind of makes me uncomfortable. It does give him a chance to start snatching though. What else can I do, you know? He's dying. Look at that belly. I'm gonna try to send him into a frenzy. This sucks. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Watch this though. It didn't work. He was facing the wrong way. Look at all that pee. Look at all that pee. Oh my god. Whatever. It's a 15-gallon and he's only staying at the top. So, it's available. Fuck. can try to vacuum it out if I have to.
I guess I better do a recap on this whole fishy getting better business. So after administering like one little piece of pee, it took him probably like 2 or 3 hours to finally take a poop. And I had left the house. I thought it was going to take longer than that. But then like, I came home and all that extra pee that I had dumped in the tank, he had eaten. So as you can see, like, if he'll stop moving, he is no longer bloated. So he's lucky that he survived after eating 2 peas. But he survived and he's just fine now. Like, he's been doing a lot of swimming, a lot of exploring. He's pretty much been like playing in his tank. So, yeah, like, it took him another 2 days to poop all that pee out. I'm still not ready to feed him. I want his belly to get just a little bit smaller than where it's at now. And, we're going to try administering the other food, and that's probably when I'm going to post this video. Because I mean, I don't know if it was the sand or the pellets or both. But there's no way in hell eating all that sand is good for him. When I noticed he was eating the sand, I immediately like kind of overfed him to make sure that that stuff wasn't gonna necessarily cause such a blockage or shred his intestines. But I do not advocate people using, at this point in the game, I do not advocate people using either sand or pellets to be feeding their beta. And you can see I have a live plant, and so that's been in here for a week now, and there were no signs of wilt. I can't tell if it's getting its sun from the fluorescent or not, because like this leaf has obviously turned itself towards the window, but yet this other one looks like it's getting its light from the fluorescent. And then there's another one that's turned towards the window. And I can't really tell where the light for these other ones may be coming from. There's another one that's not facing the window. So, yeah, there's just a heads up on, like, some stuff. Status report. And then we're going to try this new food. He's going to get a water change, weekly water change. As you can see, you know, there's tannins coming from the wood. I think the plants being in here is also helping the water quality, so I'm going to gradually add those, but we're going to keep it calm in the tank for a little bit here. You guys see this? Maybe he'll do it again. Watch this fucking fish, man. Watch him. See that? He's not sick anymore, but he keeps, like, he's perfectly fine, okay? So fishy is all better. But what he keeps doing is he keeps turning up on his side at the top of the fish tank. So now he's got psychological problems because he got introduced to his tank and was on his side for so long, and I think he just enjoys looking at the outside of the water as well as the floor of the fish tank. Like, it really just seems like he enjoys turning up on his side now. It's part of his psychology after what he's been through since this was... Watch, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. Watch it. Watch. I bet you. What's he gonna do? He's looking outside of the tank when he does this. See that? Weird. Weird little fishy. No, I'm telling you though, he's enjoying that. He's doing that because he enjoys it. He's perfectly fine now. My fish has psychological problems. Alright. I had to show that. Like, my fish has psychological problems. Weekly water change is complete. Now it is time to finally feed fishy. So, I got this. And I want to use water that's already dechlorinated. So, I am just gonna dip this in the tank. Take some of this good water here. And find fishy food. Okay, so. Freezer. And the food comes in these weird little cubes. Okay, a steak knife. Got the cube out. Cut it. Put it in the water. Now I'm just gonna give that a little bit of time to thaw before I feed my fishy. Make sure it's at room temperature, not give him a brain freeze. This is brine shrimp. I don't know why it says spirulina brine shrimp, but it is brine shrimp, so. I will now commence with the feeding of fishy. Let's see how much. Okay. So I don't want to overfeed him. Okay. Alright, now we're gonna feed fishy. And luckily he's like right here up at the top of the tank over here somewhere. Swimming around. Where'd he go? He disappeared. Where'd the fishy? Oh, there he is, there he is. Fishy. Where'd he go? What the fuck? Right when I'm gonna feed him, he disappears. Oh, there he is, there he is. Okay. Up in the corner of the tank. Like behind that weird moss stuff that came off the wood. He's like doing his floating at the top of the tank thing. Hey, fishy. This is a pain in the ass. And now he's eating. Alright, well, I hope I didn't overfeed him. Oh yeah, his predatory instincts are definitely kicking in. Where'd he go? Is he? Yeah, that's probably too much food, so I think next time I just need to make sure I know how much is in the dropper. So we'll see if he gets bloated. So I guess I'm not gonna post for another like day or two. I still have all this leftover food even though I cut off a tiny chunk, so it's just going down the toilet. There's finally peace in my tank. The only other thing that happened yesterday when I did my water change, I noticed like my fish is reacting adversely to the water, so I need to start gradually adding the water so I don't cause a pH imbalance. And I think the reason I'm having this problem is because it's my first time having actual plants in my tank and actual wood, because I've never had that before. So yeah, he needs to acclimate because he is reacting to that. But other than that, feeding fishy went great. I don't know where he went. He's not bloated. He seemed to like that brine shrimp a lot more than his other food. So I don't know where he went. Where did he go? But yeah, there's peace in my tank now. So I'm gonna go ahead and sum this up. And feeding him the brine shrimp worked out just fine. So that is gonna be his new food. He did hunt it down in the tank too. Anything that he didn't get, but he did not get like overly full from it. So I don't know where he is though. Like, he was just down here at the bottom when I cammed up, and then he disappeared. Fishy, fishy. Where'd he go? Oh, I want to show you fishy to say goodbye. I don't see no fishy. He's still like just hiding up behind this filter. How did he disappear? He's been like going up into this wood, like, oh, there he is, I found him. Okay, see, fishy, little fishy. Fishy is just fine, and there is now peace in this fish tank. Fishy.